The following presentation is brought to you by kmmedia.pro. Please visit kmmedia.pro for more information. Now stay right where you are as we present. Welcome to Positive Talk Radio, evolving ideas, one conversation at a time. Great guests, dynamic stories and interviews, plus new thoughts on a wide range of topics and concepts. I hope that you'll hang with me, Kevin McDonald, my friends, and of course, you. As together we work to understand why we are all here and what we can do to make our world a better place for all of us. To be happy, be kind, and live in peace together. Yep, that's Positive Talk Radio. Positive Talk Radio. We got a good one for you today, and we got a challenge at the same time. And I'd like to welcome the folks that are with me today on this show. First of all, Holly Berry is here, and she's in the middle of multitasking, so I don't know if I can talk to her yet. But can I talk to you now?
You can talk to me now. Our awesome virtual assistant, Demi. Hi, Demi, if you're listening. Just needed me to send her a link, so she now has that link, so we are good.
Oh, very nice. And we're very fortunate today because we've got a young lady that is really interested in the betterment of animals and the betterment of people and working together with and she's the CEO, but she really is the nonprofit person that is working with PawsWithCause and is PawsWithCause. Her name is Alix. Alix, how are you?
I am good. I'm enjoying this Pacific Northwest sunshine.
I know. I'm in a little room and I do not have air conditioning, and currently the temperature is 82 and sunny in my dark little enclave.
Oh, I've harassed him. I've been like, why don't you get AC? Apparently he likes it that hot.
I don't mind it. Well, you know, it happens so rarely around here that it gets to be 80 degrees that it's kind of nice. And so I enjoy it. And your house is nice and lit there, Alix, and you've got all kinds of plants and stuff. You must know Holly Berry. She's also got one.
Indeed, I do, and enjoy Holly Berry quite a bit.
Oh, very nice. Holly, do you want to introduce Alix and what she does? And because you've worked with her before and you've done volunteering with her before.
I do. I love volunteering for Paws with Cause. So we do have at least one episode on our website. If you search for Paws with Cause or Alix, spelled ALIX, it should come up on positivetalkradio.net. And happy to reintroduce her again. So she's the founder of PawsWithCause.org. It's a nonprofit that helps shelter animals through art and people as well. And so much. There's live events, there's galleries. They also have a really big first-time scavenger hunt that is right in midstream as well, going on in Snohomish County, Washington area. And I'm just so excited to find out how that's going. I think actually our last episode with her, it was kind of announcing the scavenger hunt because it was about ready to come up in the next month.
And it's here now. You know, the last time that we talked, I was so taken with, you were on a local radio or television station here, King 5 News, and you talked about your work and what you were doing, and you happened to be at a senior center in Kent, Washington that is also an Alzheimer's center. And I was so taken with how, and you brought some kittens along, and how I was taken with the fact that everybody was smiling, and even they wanted to pet the kitties, and they wanted to paint, and that must make your heart warm to do that. That's really a cool thing.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, it sure does. I mean, it's kind of a full circle giving. We're helping seniors and others who don't have a voice. We're helping animals that don't have a voice, and the cuddles and the kitty puddles are just amazing. It's beautiful to see all the way around.
Kitty puddles?
Kitty puddles of cuddles.
Oh, I thought you were talking about real kitty puddles, and I was saying that's never nice.
No, that, but they, when a group of kittens especially cuddle together, they call it a kitty puddle.
Oh, I'd never heard of that. That's pretty cool. And that was from one of the rescue shelters that you work with, that brought along the kitties and stuff, and then the folks, the residents there were able to paint and put that together. That it must have been a great deal of fun.
Yeah, it was. So a quick description of all of that is we work very closely with Community Cat Coalition, and you wouldn't know of them unless you know of them. They are helping the somewhat assumed 750,000 stray, abandoned, unwanted animals that are roaming in our communities. Often they've been abandoned by folks who had to go into assisted living centers, or kids that have gone to college, or they've gotten lost from their homes. And so Community Cat Coalition, which is a group of trappers, it's feral cat spay and neuter, it's meow cat rescue, it's cattails, it's casados, and they've all come together to, as we like to say at Paws with Cause, do more good for shelter pets.
I wanted to ask you because I've heard the term, and I've talked to people about feral cats, but I really don't know. Are ferals regular cats that have been wild, or are they a different breed? Or are they a sub-breed? What are they?
Well, so if I said ferals exclusively, let me correct that right now. So community cats is the term that is more commonly used, and community cats means those that have come together to survive and thrive. And within that, there's the abandons, which were most likely at some point domesticated and someone's loved pet. There are strays in there, and then there's the ferals. And ferals are those that have not been raised around humans before. They may be one generation feral, they may be multiple generations feral. And if you can catch them in time, if you can catch them before the 3 to 6 week mark, they can often be tamed down easily. And even after that point, they can be tamed down. It just takes them a long time to learn to trust.
That I understand. By the way, while we're here doing this, I want to make sure our sound quality is good. Did that help, Holly, at all?
I'm hearing on when Alix speaks, not you. So Alix, say hello, hello, so I can hear if it's staticky still.
Oh, hello, 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 hello.
It is a bit staticky.
I wonder if we can jiggle a connection or two. I don't know.
We interrupt this live broadcast for audio quality.
No, it's important that people hear what Alix has to say, because it really is important.
She's our guest, yeah. I'm wondering, can you decrease some of the channel outputs from the different media platforms?
I have and I've lowered it as much as I can and still hear you. Try it again, Alix.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello, hello.
It's still there. Try it one more time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello, hello.
Does that help there?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to run with it, because we want to get the word out about what you have going on right now, which I think is really good for the community, for the local businesses, for the local people who want to find out more about the local businesses, and a way for them to win some prizes and stuff.
Exactly. Well, let me start telling you about that. So we are doing a scavenger hunt. We're calling it the Great Everett Scavenger Hunt. And it formed fairly quickly. We had the idea and we went with it. Actually, I thought about the idea for a while, but then when we said go, it took off like a shot. And we have 32 different businesses in Everett, throughout Everett, who've come in to help us do this project. And they range from artist galleries and arts places to coffee shops to grocery stores to lifestyle stores, and even a Tai Chi and yoga store. And I could list them all by name quite easily, and maybe I'll drop a few now and then. But they've all come together to help us. And indeed, it's been really fun. They are opening their doors. And while I wanted hordes of people to go through, we do have a really good showing, but not hordes, not the Monty Python kind of hordes that I was hoping for.
No kitty puddles yet?
No kitty puddles yet, although funny you should, we will have one at the Everett Farmers Market this coming Sunday. So we have one hidden portrait at the Everett Farmers Market, and I'm not very tricky. I like to tell people where they are. It's at Holmquist Hazelnuts. And while Holmquist Hazelnuts has a hidden pet portrait there of a dog named Hazel, go figure, we will have a kitty cuddle puddle at our booth at the Everett Farmers Market.
A kitty cuddle puddle. Say that 3 times fast. That's pretty good. I like that.
I could sure try.
I like that. Now, you work predominantly with, I know shelters have dogs and cats. Are there a lot of shelters with dogs right now? I want to know for a personal reason.
Yeah, there are a lot of shelters with dogs right now, and they carefully check each individual who is adopting. They want to find the right dog for the right person, and vice versa.
Gotcha. So if somebody, just out of curiosity, because I'm entertaining the thought of getting a little puppy dog, or a little older than a little puppy dog that says, "Carpet, I don't pee on that. I pee outside." How does the process work? Do you know?
Yeah, I sure do. So the easiest thing right now is to go online, frankly. It's so hard to get down to shelters sometimes, and it's lucky that COVID has lifted, because they were not just doing curbside, they were doing a lot of individual call outs, and then you had to make an appointment. So it's opened up a little bit since then, but there is an easier way for anybody out there listening, or for you, Kevin. There are 2 or 3 online, yeah, I love that smile. There are 2 or 3 online places that you can go, and the shelters are putting their animals on there now. Beautiful pictures, beautiful descriptions, and it goes right down into the more or less the psychology of the animal, what you can expect. They want to find the right animal for you and the right home for that animal. So let me drop some names here. If you go on Pet Finder, PETFINDER, petfinder.com, or adoptapet.com, you can see the animals in the local shelters. Often they'll have professional photographs taken of them, usually with a little bit of sassiness, a little bit of personality showing. And
I see Kevin's pulling his pen out. He's this is great. Keep going, Alix.
So these have filters. Technologically speaking, they have filters, and you can type in, first of all, what you're looking for: dog, cat, rat, or bat. Notice I'm into rhyming, right? There's really no bats, but there are rats in the shelters.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
I don't want a bat.
No bats, but we actually did tiny tails and scales just the other day. So we did newts and geckos and rats and chinchillas in our program just the other day.
Oh, how fun.
They're so cute. But you go on, you tell this program what you're looking for by typing it in: dog, cat, rat, guinea fowl, bunny. And then you begin to get deeper and deeper into what you're looking for: the breed, the color, the age. All of those are filters that you can specify. And then you say how far you're willing to look. In Seattle, we've always been really good about getting our pets new homes. We are a high adoption culture around here. The further away from Seattle proper that you go, the more shelter animals you're going to find, such as Tacoma, Bremerton, Yakima, Wenatchee. If you're willing to go that far, and often they'll even help you with transportation, meet you part way, or find a transport ability to help. So if you go a little bit further out, you're still doing a great job for an animal and helping, and you're getting the kind of animal you want. And just to reiterate a point I made earlier, they will tell you about that animal. If it has anything in it psychologically that you need to know, if it's a prey species or breed, then they'll tell you if it's good with other animals, if it's good with other cats or dogs. If it's got any kind of a medical history that they're aware of, they'll tell you. And then they're often already vaccinated. They've been medically tested for anything that they can be tested for. They've been spayed, they've been neutered, and they've been chipped. So you're getting an all-in-one great animal from the get-go that you're ready to love.
I wanted to just mention how important that is, because my youngest son, he's 30, I guess that qualifies him as a card carrying adult. But we grew up with a border collie. His name was Wesley, and Wesley was the runt of the litter. And Wesley still was reasonably aggressive, not aggressive, but he wanted a lot of action. He needed to have, because border collies love to chase a ball and love to chase things because they're a working animal. And so he got this border collie thinking that, well, we'll be just like Wesley. Well, no. This one was the alpha male, and so he was nipping at people, and he was not. So they ended up having to give him away. And as it turns out, the person that they gave him to is somebody that works with border collies a lot. And she said, well, you picked the exact wrong dog for your situation, because border collies they're very intuitive. And so if you are a difficult person, or if you've got problems at home, or it turns out his wife has ADHD, and the kids maybe a little autistic and stuff, so it wasn't a good fit for them. So I encourage people to go through this process and really pick the animal that is going to work for them. Because yesterday I was talking with Holly on the old Zoom master, and she picked up her dog, which just loves the heck out of her, and her name is Alice, and she's just a great little dog, and that got me thinking again. I want to have a great little dog too, because I miss cuddling with one, and so Holly was doing that, and they have a great relationship, don't you, Holly?
I should specify I am just the stepmom. She's actually my boyfriend's dog.
She doesn't recognize that to be true. Your mommy.
I actually tried to get her up on the screensaver, but she's just right above, right out of it. But you can see PawsWithCause logo there as far as like visually being able to recognize it. I'm curious though, for local people that want to participate in the scavenger hunt or have questions about it, can we take callers, Kevin?
I know that not at the moment. If somebody wants to chime in into the chat, we can do it that way.
Okay, so yeah, we can do that and respond to them as well. But Alix, where would you like to direct people that are local to the area and do want to participate in that? After that, that'll lead into my next question.
Very good question. Thank you. We've made it simple. You can go to PawsWithCause.org, PawsWithCause.org, and all the information is out there under events. You'll find your questions answered and a tiny URL that will lead you to the Great Everett Hunt. And that's how you can register. It's free to play.
Once somebody registers like that, do they get some sort of a bingo card type of thing, or what's the process after that?
We have worked with a really wonderful company in Seattle, a technology startup called Frazier-Ceo, and they've made a map for us. And then we've had some really wonderful volunteers that have integrated different forms into that map. So they'll immediately get an autoresponder telling them they're registered, and then they'll get a copy of the map that we have online, so they can go and see every place we hid those 32 pictures. I already told you I'm not very tricky. I wanted it to be easy. But then any of the merchants that you go into will have a copy of that map, and then they will have a punch card. So you don't actually have to have a smartphone to play the game. It's easy if you do, but we can also do it manually as well. And then we've alphabetically listed on this little punch card everybody that's participating so that you can get to them.
Oh, and that's wonderful. Alix is actually holding up one of the punch cards so you can kind of see what you'd be using to play along with, either digitally or by print.
That's really cool. And what I like about it a lot is that you're also supporting the downtown community by having 32 different of retail establishments, and you could actually make an entire afternoon, evening of it, can't you?
Oh, you sure can. And that's part of why we did this, because I have often said that Paws with Cause isn't just a painting company, and it's not just an animal awareness company. It's a community builder. We're here to do more good throughout the community and to create sort of a relationship as broad as we can. We want to help those without a voice. We want to help those without a choice, but everybody can do that. Anybody can come into our program and feel confidence, gain a new skill, and help another person. So to focus this back to the downtown merchants, absolutely, we are trying to build community here. And I got more to say about that as far as their coupons go, but I'm going to pause a moment in case you've got some questions for me.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Because the coupon thing is really an important aspect of getting the word out and to helping the businesses as well. So, and I just love that they're helping you and you're helping them.
Oh, and it was such a pleasure to deal with each and every one of them. They were so excited about this. I had given myself a couple days to make the phone calls to ask them, and every one was about a 5-minute pitch. Oh, we'd love to help. Oh, we'd love to help. And there is something on the backside for them too, because we are showing them off. We are showcasing their business. So just as you said, Kevin, you may go downtown Everett and spend a whole afternoon popping into an art store like Lucky Dime, Jag Art Gallery, or a Black Lab, and then you might drop off at My Toy Store and see some great fun toys. You might stop by that chicken place and have lunch. You may stop by Flying Pig and have an iced tea or an adult beverage. There's so many things to do and so many different businesses to discover, and they are giving you coupons as you come in.
I was in the restaurant business for a long time. Are you serious? Flying Pig?
That's what it's called. They actually branded themselves as Flying Pig 2.0 because they shut down for a little while and then they came back stronger and better than ever.
Oh, so what does Flying Pig serve? I imagine pig of some kind or another.
Well, I think they have quite an eclectic menu. They have tapas, they have appetizers, they have sliders, they have alcoholic drinks and non-alcoholic drinks. I believe it is an over 21 establishment in that regard.
Oh, that's cool. Well, Holly, I guess we've got a place to go have our next meeting.
I love it.
That'll be fun. So you must be, by the way, we're looking for a salesperson. You must be an extraordinary salesperson.
But this kind of sells itself. You wrap animals, you wrap painting, and you wrap community together, and it sells itself. But thank you for that compliment.
Well, now, did you do this all yourself, or did you have more people helping you?
Oh, I have so many wonderful volunteers, and I often refer to this as the wind beneath my wings. I couldn't do a single bit of this by myself. It's taking all of the volunteers to do this, and we had one especially wonderful lady that when I was out of town did a lot of the, I guess you'd call it street work for me. She delivered all the pictures to have them hung up, and she had a group that was helping her as well.
That leads into my next question, but go ahead,
ma'am,
Kevin.
Go ahead.
Are you sure? Okay. So I know on the last episode that we had Alix on, we were able to touch on a lot of the different types of volunteer opportunities, both locally and globally. And I'd love that information to be presented as well because our broadcast is global.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm happy to do that. Thank you. We have an artist studio at the Everett Mall, and we could always use help there. It's not salesy in any way. It's just greeting the public as they come in, telling them about our mission. And then if somebody is interested in purchasing a sit, stay, and play at-home painting kit, they can do that. That's one aspect. We do quite a few events around the community, and we always need help there. It's a lot of communication. It's a lot of public awareness. We're just telling them about our system. Holly, you have something? Want to show it?
I would love to show you. First, I need to get rid of my virtual background so you can actually see it. Now you can see it.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
man, that is great. Who did that?
This is a touch-up. I didn't want to interrupt Alix, so go ahead and finish, Alix. We'll talk about your touch-ups after that.
Oh, okay. Well, that is something that we do. So when we go to the assisted living centers, and as you mentioned, Kevin, you saw the King 5 Evening Magazine bit where we were at Aegis of Kent. We have so much fun with them, and they are wonderful, and they're darling, and we are not at all concerned about their artwork output. It can be anything, and we find so much value in the work that they do. Often afterwards, they've had a wonderful time, and often afterwards, they ask us to put a couple little finishing touches or flourishes on it. Or frankly, we'll have one that has an awful lot of black. We've been dealing with somebody who has eyesight issues. Black is a color that they use a lot when they have eyesight issues. So we'll ask them, can we take this and really pull the animal through that? Can we pull that out and help that animal get seen outside the cages so that it can get adopted? And every single time they say yes, they're happy to have a little bit of help. So that's the touch-up that Holly was just speaking of. And I'll pause my other information bits about things that we might offer volunteers to let Holly go into details on her touch-up, a beautiful cat.
Oh, sure. Okay, well, let me get rid of that virtual background again. I know people just listening to audio, you're just going to have to imagine. So
It's really
settings,
pretty. It's really
virtual
pretty.
background. Yeah, right now it has a rally car on it, and we can talk about that too, because Alix's sponsor and sponsoring her, and she's sponsoring them. The logo will be in a race soon. So this is an example of one of the touch-ups. This little kitty is called Joyce Cow. Taffy Paws is also written on the frame, but one of the ways that they help try to track the animal name and where that animal is being taken care of or what shelter it's in is by the little cards on the back of these. So a lot of volunteers, they'll go pick up the starting image, and if it needs some touch-ups, and this is a good example because it had a lot of black on it, then we can try to make it a little bit more recognizable so it can go in one of the galleries. So that's a great example of one of the local volunteer duties that people can help with.
I had no idea that you are a painter too.
Yes, sir.
Work is quite stunning, and if I may, Holly, I often think that you channel something from where you came originally. You have this very unique style. What do you credit that with?
Well, when I was in high school and taking art class, there was a lot of like first time exposure to things like Dolly and stuff where they'd be really heavy with the lines, or flowy with the styles of lines. What Alix likes to call it is like an Alaskan style, like the totem pole. You know, how the fish and the birds and everything will have that unique style to them, and so that probably does influence it as well. It's a lot of fun. I think, is there still that one at the museum of like aircraft museum in Everett of an eagle? Was it an eagle or a hawk?
You did a picture of an eagle, and you did it more in a black and white style, didn't you?
Yeah, it was matching a black and white photo, and it was on, at least at one point in time, it was on display at the museum with a couple other ones that were just amazingly done by other volunteers.
Yeah, so you're speaking about Paul Allen's Flying Heritage Museum. And after his passing, the museum has sold. It was a permanent installation there for animals in wartime. And Holly, that picture was just gorgeous, just beautiful.
Is it still there?
Well, the museum is closed at this time and it's sold to somebody else. So I'm not certain if it's there or not. Since it had been part of the permanent installation, I imagine that when they resuscitate it, it will come back.
Well, maybe we should go in and break in and steal it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. But you don't have to be as talented as Holly is to volunteer and to work with people to help paint and to do other stuff within your organization, right?
And you also don't have to be local.
Oh, that's
That,
interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah, that is true. So that's multifaceted. Let me say that we began working with a gentleman named Thomas, and Thomas has a developmental disability. He started coming into our artist studio at the Everett Mall in 2019, and he colored with us. And very quickly we noticed that he's pretty good. And so one of our docents, Karen, began working with him, and he comes in every Friday to this day, and he graduated to paints. And in fact, he's gotten so good that Thomas has a following. People asked where they can see his paintings in our galleries around town. And at this point in time, 2 of his pictures are in the Great Everett Scavenger Hunt. They were chosen by the merchants. That's how good he is. And he started with us with color crayons.
I love it. That's such a perfect story of exactly that angels among us type of effect.
Yeah,
It's amazing when you give people the opportunity to do great things, they can.
they really can. And Thomas is a beautiful painter in his own right, but you need to understand that it's his style that's emerging. It's so uniquely Thomas, just like Dali is so uniquely Dali. Picasso is so uniquely Picasso. This is uniquely Thomas. I just love it.
Yep, and think about Picasso and how much money he gets for what he did. I never have understood that, but that's just me. but I think that it's really good that you're doing what you're doing and you're helping my little friends, the animals, and
The
putting that
Toby
all
and friends.
together. Yes. Well, I love dogs and cats, and I feel so sorry for them when they get stuck in a shelter or fortunately around here we don't have kill shelters, so we're very lucky in that respect, I think. Or do we don't, right?
We really don't. We're 95% live release around here. The only time an animal is euthanized is when it's the better alternative for its health, or if it's been extremely aggressive, which is very, very rare. There are breeds that have prey drive. There are breeds that are aggressive, just like the border collie. And we shouldn't type them until we know the animal. And as a matter of fact, stereotypically, Chihuahuas are a lot more aggressive than pit bulls.
That's so true.
And then you
They're
have a Chihuahua, don't you, Holly? You
Uh,
have a
no. I have a miniature Dachshund. They can also be very on. Kind of like that about her. She bosses us around. So you know how miniature Dachshunds have the really long noses. She'll like come by and she'll like use that nose and move your whole arm like all the way across the couch and like keep beating on it with that nose until you do whatever it is she's trying to get you to do.
That's pretty funny. My cat does that too. He likes to head bump. Head bumps hard.
Yeah, like I am telling you, human.
Well, we were working yesterday on Zoom, and it was like 4:30, and the dog just came up and wanted to get on her lap, and was just looking at her like, look, it's close to 5 o'clock. Can you feed me now? And was very interested in having dinner. So it's amazing. Animals are so intelligent. They're so cool to be around, and if you treat them nicely, they treat you even better.
That is so true. And they are so forgiving as well. I wouldn't doubt that my little cat will come by at some point, but he came to us after having been rescued. And the shelter that took him in brought him in with cigarette burns and scars,
Oh.
respiratory tract infection, some fingers pulled off. And he now realizes he's in the home of his life and that he is loved and cared for. And I have never met a sweeter animal. And I hear that so often from people that rescue animals are the kindest because they know the other side of things and they want to show you that they're willing to give you human another chance.
It's a lot of people are concerned, about getting a rescue rather than going to a farm to get a purebred or something like that. But the rescue animals really, especially if they're a mix, can be as kind and as gentle and as disease free as some of the um, purebreds that are from a puppy mill and they may be overbred or there's maybe some other issues with them. So I would if you're looking for an animal, and I'm when we get off of here, I'm going to go to Pet Finder and see if there's a little puppy dog that I can bother that'll sit here with me and look at me and say, "I love you." That would be so nice.
That is a thing, and I don't want to disparage breeders to any degree, but the adopt, don't shop, that's really the way to go. When we've got so many animals going through the shelter system, over 6 million a year, that's the way to go. Help those animals find a good, loving home. That's as simple as I can put it. They are not cast off. They are animals that need a home, that are ready to love and be loved.
There's a period of time a couple of years ago where when everybody was in lockdown, and it was really honestly hard to find a shelter dog because everybody was doing that. Are they kind of repopulated now a little bit?
To a degree, they made a lot of media about the fact that dogs were being returned after people went back to work, and it's true, but not in droves. They weren't returned in droves.
Okay.
There were some that were returned because the people could not continue to have them once they came out of isolation and went back to work. There were always animals out there to adopt. You just had to go a little further away, as I'm suggesting with Pet Finder or Adopt a Pet. Set your circle ring out, not 15 miles, but 50 miles, and you will find those animals. And when they come to you, they will be spayed and neutered, they will be chipped, they will be vaccinated, and they'll be in very good health. They'll disclose to you if there's any medical conditions so you can decide if that's right for your life.
I'm standing here beside myself. I'm a little shocked. Were people that would adopt an animal and bring them into their home when COVID was happening, and then when they went back to work, they couldn't take care of it. Didn't they know that beforehand that they weren't going to be able to take care of the animal, and then taking him back to the shelter? That seems rather cruel and inhuman to me.
Well, so without passing judgment, my mind goes to two things. First of all, those animals had a wonderful home for a short period of time or a long period of time. COVID lasted 2.5 years. So they had a wonderful adoptive home. And the second thing, so that I don't make a judgment on an individual I don't know, is I say to myself, how wonderful that they returned them to a place to a sanctuary where they could be loved and cared for till their next home came into being. They didn't just abandon them on the street. They got them back where they would be safe.
I'm
So,
you are a saint. Did you know that?
no,
Angels among us.
no,
Because
I just,
I think. Go ahead.
I just have to say the kind of thing that settles my heart. In this business, you do see a lot of bad stories. And if you fixate on them, you can't continue to work. So I have to think about the things that will get us ahead, that will change the dynamics that we have, and that won't cast an aspersion on a person who didn't have the ability to make a different decision.
And that's very non-judgmental of you, and that's why you're a saint. Because so, Holly,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
you have a question? Have a
No,
thought?
no,
So
but
tell me.
I still wanted to know if there was still currently, I thought, well, at least last episode we were together, there was international volunteer opportunities at PawsWithCause.org. So I'm curious if that's still the case. And if so, what those awesome
Yeah,
people listening all over the world how they would tune in to that or find out more information on that.
absolutely. So we have a remote program, and I believe it's about to expand a little bit. This is going to be 60% fluff that I'm about to tell you. I don't count on things until they actually happen, so I try to tell people when I'm about to tell a Pinocchio nose lie. I like to tell them it's going to be a lie until it actually happens. But what is happening, let me go with the truth first. What is happening is that we have people all around the United States, in Canada, in Budapest, in Nigeria, that are helping us create parts of our program that all go into our sit, stay, and play at home kit. They are helping us take the pictures of the local animals. They are helping us to cut the background out because that seems to give people a startle response when they see so much background they can't paint. So we cut the backgrounds out. Then they put together what we call a biography card. They tell the story about the animal as they found it on the shelter website or on Pet Finder. And then from that, they load it into a Google Drive for me, and we create the cards that go with the sketched picture from which you can see the actual animal. It's a color guide, and then you can learn the story. So we have people all over the United States, Canada, and internationally that are remotely helping with us with that right now. And there's more.
Do tell.
Okay, so most recently, and I'm very excited about this, but this is 60% fluff at this moment. It's unfolding right now. We have someone in the country of the United Arab Emirates, specifically in Dubai, who might begin working with us to help those shelter animals there. And she will be working with us to hold online painting classes. And then that'll be our first and furthest outreach to do this program, if it works out. So she loves animals, has worked in a shelter before, and has an art and training background.
So you're going global.
Well, in a little way. It's just this one little instance, but it is global, and it's very exciting.
That is very exciting. So what are you going to do when you have 10 million people painting 10 million animals?
That will blow my mind away. But it's the desired outcome. So let's get there. At any given time, there's 6 million animals in the United States shelters and 17 million people looking. So that's the inverse situation that I feel we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to the point where there's so many people looking for companion animals that it is a little hard to find one. And then the shelters are just becoming a warehouse to get that right animal to that right person.
That is a really good problem to have.
It is, and it hasn't happened yet in all these years. But becoming that company that helps them get seen outside the cages could be the difference. It could be the thing that helps us get more shelter animals. And we show these off in different locations around this area right now. Restaurants, veterinarian offices, banks, these 32 merchants, which include grocery stores and children's museums right now. We show them off there, and that begins to create that awareness. And I have my eyes strongly on the Fred Meyer / Kroger organization right now, because they've allowed me to put these pictures up in the bathroom hallways, which 10% of the people visiting the stores go to. So we get seen by 300 to 500 people a day with our name in the bathroom hallway. I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of having my name in the bathroom hallway.
You know, that opened up a whole line that I was going to say, but I'm not going to.
There you go, being non-judgmental.
Well, no,
that actually is the smartest place in a grocery store to put something you want viewed, where it's not necessarily like a retail item, if it's more of like a library or a gallery like that.
No, I was just going to say, I know a girl that was in the wall of the men's bathroom, and that didn't turn out for, never mind. That was not appropriate.
Going all the way down. Oh, Kevin.
I'm telling you what.
I want an 8-second delete button.
Yeah, well, you know how it goes.
I think it's a lot of fame to have our name in the bathroom hallway, so I'm all good with it.
I think it's great anywhere that you can put animals and pictures and stuff, because those it's everybody goes by that hallway at one point or another.
Yeah. And once their focus is off an immediate need, they stop and look at the pictures. interestingly enough, Holly talked about our little cards, our little gallery cards. There we go. Where is it? There it is. Our little gallery card.
Alix is holding up an example. So it has the animal on it. It has a description of the animal, and it looks like a link or a URL, some sort of contact information. And it looks like it has a QR code as well. What do people see when they scan the QR code on these animal information cards?
It takes them to our website where they can participate with us and do more good by purchasing a sit, stay, and play at home kit and paint with us, and we will send those all across the United States and the world.
How wonderful. Oh, that's awesome.
And what's really exciting about this card is that we print 48,000 of these a year. That's how many people are taking these cards interested in the animal or in the program.
Oh, that's just beautiful.
That's really phenomenal. Cool. That is an amazing amount of cards.
It is. Yes, and by the way, we're always looking for a sponsor to help defray those costs.
I was going to ask you about it, because nothing in this world is free, and what you're doing is you're doing a lot for free. And so if you are somebody that would like to donate, would they be able to donate for the cause?
Well, very simply, again, is to go to our website, and we have a donation page on there. So it's PawsWithCause.org, and you can donate whatever fits your budget, or you can make it a recurring donation as well. And we do pay our costs, and then the rest of it we give out, and our board has voted the last couple of years to give that money out to spay and neuter, because we figure if we can stem the cycle, then that will help more animals from the get-go. And every 2 animals in the course of 6 years can create 67,000 offspring.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Yeah, it's stunning. It's a stunning number. 2 animals in 6 years with their offspring, left unchecked, unspayed, unneutered, can create 67,000 offspring. And that's dogs or cats.
Holy mackerel. The other day I was talking with a lady, she had 6 kids and 35 grandkids. I thought that was a lot, but that was a human being, but a dog can, how, did you say 67,000?
I did. A cat can get pregnant at 3 months of age.
So, that is amazing.
Yeah, I think you just blew Kevin's mind.
you really did, because if you don't get everybody and you miss 2, you're in big trouble.
That's what we're facing right now. And so we talk about all those animals in the shelters. We talk about the 6 million of them, of which sadly about half are euthanized. But what we haven't talked about is the stray population. I did mention the 750,000 community cats in Puget Sound alone. That's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother area that my mind can't comprehend. And so that's why we give so much of our income to spay and neuter. And what I would love to talk with you about later is the program that we hope to start with students, with school-age students around this area. And perhaps we can pick that up the next time we speak. But it's very exciting, and it will bring an opportunity of vocational education to them, as well as the opportunity for us to protect and be good stewards of animals.
And we're going to speak in the very near future, as a matter of fact. You volunteered to come on the 4 o'clock KKNW show. Thank you very much. And if you want to go to that show and listen to that, but you got to go today, is 1150kknw.com. And go there and you can listen to Alix talk more about it. Holly, I think we should wrap this one up so that she can go take a nap and get ready for 4 o'clock. Or at least I could take a nap and get ready for 4 o'clock. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go?
Sure. Yeah. Well, are you tied into one of your sponsors for the 4 o'clock show? Oh, I love that. You can keep holding that up, Alix.
we are going to be at the 4 o'clock show. We are going to be giving away a beautiful, and I do mean beautiful, flower arrangement. That as long as you're in Bothell and North Kirkland in that area, we're going to, and I don't know what the parameters of that giveaway will be, but we're going to come up with something between now and then. Maybe I know. Maybe if you donate to that would be cool. Donate to Paws with Cause, and you can enter to win the flower arrangement. How about that? No? Okay. Well, I just, spitballing here, just kind of thinking out of the box kind of thing. So.
One way or another, you'll be giving away something from your sponsors at the 4:00 show on KKNW.
Yes, I will. I can always tell when Holly disagrees with me because I never hear anything back. She just doesn't, and she's smarter than I am. She just doesn't respond. So it's good. That works. So, Alix, Frazier, thank you so much. You are with Paws with Cause. If there's anything else you'd like to say before we wrap this up, that'd be great.
We would love to have you join us in the Everett scavenger hunt. It's going on now through the end of this month. There are some great prizes, $100 gift certificates from the Aquafest, or from Aquasox, excuse me, and different of the merchants are giving out raffle prizes as well. We have some great prizes that we haven't announced yet. And it's still anybody's game. The leaderboard has 23 of the 32 pets found, and one of our leaders found like 15 in one day. So it's still anybody's game. Go out and play. Go online to PawsWithCause.org. Go to our events site, and you'll see how to play.
That would be awesome. So again, Alix, Frazier, thank you so much for being here. Holly, thank you so much for putting up with me. You have no idea how much I appreciate that.
Likewise. You put up with me just as equally much appreciated.
So we will see, as everybody that's listening, we'll see you at 4:00 on KKNW. I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. It's going to be 89 degrees today, so I'll be melting. So thank you, ladies. It's been a pleasure having you here. And if you'll wait right there, I'll be right back. Hey, thanks for enjoying this episode all the way to the end. Please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. This has been a production of PositiveTalkRadio.net. Please visit our website, oddly named PositiveTalkRadio.net, for more details about us and our mission, which is to provide great positive programming designed to inspire us all. I'm Kevin McDonald, and I'm proud of these shows, and I truly hope that you'll like them and share them with friends and family. So on behalf of our entire team, remember, be kind to one another because each other's all we got.